exclusive poll coming up on Toronto's Breaking News, CP24.
Welcome back live at noon. As that man just said, the race is on. Two of the big issues, education and healthcare. Nora Loreto is from the Canadian Federation of Students dealing with education. Thanks for coming in again, Nora. First of all, what were you doing up at Queen's Park today? You were up there causing problems. Tell us about it.
Oh, we had no problems. And actually, Queen's Park security loved having us on the grounds. We took over the grounds. We took over Queen's Park. We wanted to demonstrate that students are going to be coming out this election and voting for their issues and for the parties that have the best education platforms. And
Did the leaders come out and see you?
No,
they didn't.
No,
okay.
They didn't. But we did cover it in caution tape, and there was a lot of interest from folks that were walking around the grounds, especially tourists, wondering how bad our system might be for us to be standing there.
How bad is the system? You've seen, I want to talk about what it is right now. You've seen the platforms of all three parties, particularly yesterday.
Only
with
one.
McGuinty.
We only have one party that's got an education platform. The Conservatives are going to be announcing something further to their change book in the next couple of weeks. And the NDP hasn't announced anything yet.
But their platforms are out. What does that mean if they say their platforms are out and they haven't talked about education?
I think that both parties know that this is going to be a big issue in this election.
So they're saving it up for a bigger bang.
And they want to make a big bang and make a big announcement about it.
Well, I mean, the Premier's speech yesterday, we carried it live here on CP24. A lot of it was dealing with education. What do you think of that?
Well, I was denied access. Me and some students from the city were not allowed into the announcement. But
why not? Who stopped you?
All of the Liberal staff people. They said we didn't.
Are you a danger?
I don't think so.
Were you packing a pistol?
Definitely not. Definitely
not.
But
really, you were not allowed in?
No, no. So it was too bad because we wanted to be able to hear the announcement from the Premier, but we were persistent and we stood outside and we were handed a platform eventually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you read it like a good student?
Yes.
What do you think of it?
There's some good and there's some bad. The good is the tuition fee rebate that has been talked a lot about, I'm sure. It's a huge investment to try and curb the costs. The problem is that they're not actually stopping tuition fee hikes. And so tuition fees can still increase, and the government will then substitute bad policy with good policy, which is this grant. We think it's
But the government can't stop the increases. If the university wants to increase it,
no, they can. They regulate tuition fees directly, and then the institution operates within that framework.
But you have to. I mean, they'd have to, if they stop the institution from raising fees, they'd have to compensate that.
Right, exactly. And that's what we call for, is more funding, because the system definitely needs some funding.
So bottom line is, they gave you some funding, but not enough.
Well, it's significant funding, but we would have hoped to see a tuition fee freeze or reduction. Effectively, that could have been enough for a tuition fee reduction. And then, of course, there's a lot of talk about satellite campuses, which we are really concerned about and don't think that that's the way to go to improve quality in this province.
What should happen?
Ontario might need another university. If it's the case that our schools are currently at capacity, we shouldn't have Laurentian setting shop up in Barrie and Laurier setting up shop in Milton.
Well, they just want to share the market, don't they? I mean, that's from their point of view, that's really good.
They do, but what happens is when the satellite campus in Barrie, which currently operates, students are told that they can get a degree there. Then they get to third year and they say, oh, but you can't get an honors degree, so you have to move to Sudbury to finish.
So there's a few things that you have to correct.
Yeah, but we think it's encouraging, and we really hope the other two parties are going to meet it or exceed it in their education announcements the next couple of days.
So when their announcements are out, will you come back here, and what we'll do is when you have all three of them, and you and your committee will take a look at them, and we'll just judge them.
Yeah, get me a chalkboard, and I'll explain them all for your viewers.
Perfect. And then you'll tell us who you should vote for?
I can suggest who has the best policies, and then, of course, it's up to you to decide.
And Rover and I are always looking for direction. No question about that.
Well, have me back anytime. I love being on.
We'll see you before the election then.
Yes, hopefully.
Nora, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you didn't get arrested yesterday at the announcement or today at Queen's Park.
Yeah.
Good for you. Okay. And there we have it. We're going to have her back before the end.
Oh, as long as she brings that chalkboard she was talking about. Absolutely.
She wants to be a teacher.
The piece of chalk is mightier than the sword, that's for sure. Thank you both very much. It is 12:18, 14 degrees. This is Toronto's Breaking News, CP24. We've got coming up next in 90 seconds, in fact, a check on today's business news, a look at the traffic that is all around our city, some hot spots.